She took a bow as she walked outside, probably asking a guy for a lighter. She'll change the way that you dream at night if you catch her eye. If you catch her eye. 'Cause everyone I know has a crush on her. If you're feeling lonely, she won't have the cure. Still, everyone I know has a crush on her.
Well, it's Friday, and you know what that means. Another episode of the Captain and Madden Show, hitting your ear sockets for more sharp discussion and even sharper wit. I think that's the new catchphrase. I am Mike Madden on my end. Michael Corby, the captain, on his end. Captain, how are you on this Friday?
Hey, Mike, how are you today? Happy Friday, everybody.
Did you like my sharp discussion and even sharper wit?
Wow.
Okay.
It's almost like something out of would be on the Sharper Image catalog.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's
Hey, it's not bad.
brand heavy, but it's
I still like don't join bands that have masks or costume gimmicks
yes. Well,
as our tagline.
it's a decent tagline. We're still workshopping catchphrases and taglines, but yeah, no, we're enjoying the research that we both did for this topic. This is dare I say, this is the most revealing episode that we've done. I felt like that when I was doing my research on this one, celebrity crushes.
You felt like you were revealing yourself while you're doing research?
I'm giving a lot of information that normally I would. I'm pretty much an open book on a lot of things, but as far as this topic goes, like it certainly is like, all right, well, you can make jokes or you can share certain things with your buddies, but now I'm putting this out in the podcast world that these are celebrity crushes that I've had feelings about from my young, impressionable, formative years up until the current day and age. So it's a lot to harness, a lot of harnessable energies coming through. I don't know how you feel. If you feel the same way.
Well, if this is if this is revealing, then I'm guessing that if there's a psychiatrist listening, they're gonna probably say something like I guess during my lifetime I had a thing for a little bit older women, so I don't know what that says about me.
Well, it's not a bad thing. It's
I
certainly.
guess it's better that. I guess it's a lot less creepier than me being an old man now and having a lot of crushes on younger women.
That's true. Yeah. That's an excellent point.
That might send up some flags.
Yeah. So before we even get things going with this, obviously we're going to be talking about some sensitive subjects here. Some boyhood crushes, some current crushes or people that we find attractive and whatnot. We don't mean to offend anybody on this, and we certainly don't want to make things too chauvinistic, so to speak. I do not have any men listed on my crushes, and I'm sure you don't either. So, so let yourselves formulate your own lists, and feel free to comment. When you listen, comment on Spotify in the comment section about who you would have added to your list.
I do have China the wrestler on my list. Is that technically
No,
could that be considered?
She was a
man
woman.
crush?
She was a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, she might have taken some human growth hormones or tried to get rid of some of her manlier features through surgeries, but she certainly is not she was not born with man parts. So,
I'm guessing. I'm guess we don't. I would think it would be common sense, but I guess we should throw this out. Like, they're crushes. They're
yeah.
It's not like either of us have ever been put on we've never had a restraining order by a celebrity. It's not like we've, I just want to throw that out there that we have admired some people from afar, but
Yes.
not in any way criminal. I
No,
guess would be a good
this is, and this is in no way a manifesto. We're not pining to be with these women or
No.
to be with
Well, this
to,
is
to
a,
stalk
this is
them
a,
in any way.
this is an audio podcast. I will assure you, I have both my ears. I have not ever cut one of my ears
Yes.
off and sent them to any of these ladies that are on the list.
Cyrano de Bergerac, so to speak.
Yes.
Yes. That's a good disclaimer to put out there. Anything that keeps us from, getting canceled is going to be even better. So apologies up front to anybody who may look at this episode listing or any of the posts about it and say, well, these chauvinists are they're really lining themselves up to be canceled. We mean this in all the respectable ways that are out there. So before we dig ourselves a complete hole that we have to come back from, let's get started. How about that?
Sure. You can't dig a hole until you put the shovel right in the ground.
That's true. Yeah. So I'll let you start, and then we'll see where the world takes us. I had said to you in the pre-production meeting, by the way, this is the most notes that I've taken for an episode so far. So I've got a lot to work with here.
I feel like this is going to be a game of Uno where like I'm going to be out real early and you're still going to be holding a lot of cards.
Yeah, a lot of draw fours left in my.
Well, I did this by team or whatever, but like, if the first one I would mention would probably be the early that I can remember vividly or whatever, remembering having a crush on somebody that was at the time I felt was a celebrity. The actress's name is Faye Grant. And she was one of the actresses on a series on NBC called V.
Oh,
there was originally called
Aliens.
just V,
Right.
and it was like a 3-episode. They looked like humans, but then they were lizard people underneath.
Yeah.
Had the great Mark Singer in the series. If you were into late night cable,
Talk about
he
dreamy
wore
eyes.
the Beastmaster. Yeah. But she was one of the V went on to, it was like a 3-part series. Then like a few months later, they actually. So it was a 3-part series. Where basically, the aliens come down and you kind of get to know their stories and stuff. Then they made, like, a few months later, they issued out the final 2 episodes, which was called V, The Final Battle. And because it did so well in ratings, they decided to actually make a weekly series, which lasted, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years. And then eventually...
Right, yeah.
But she played from like early on in the original 3-part series. There was a group of humans that didn't trust the aliens. They felt like there was something up from the beginning. She was the leader of like the rebellion. Her name was Julie Parrish on the show.
Mm-hmm.
She was a cute blonde. I always thought it was kind of interesting how like she would, she was like a leader of all these guys and stuff, and she was like very tough. Like if she was 5'2", maybe 5'3", something like that. Like I said, cute blonde. I was probably 8-9 years old. I just thought she was cute, but that was like my, it was like, oh, gotta watch V. I do remember when it went to a regular weekly series. I think it was a Friday night show on NBC.
That's what I seem to remember. Yeah, it being a Friday night sci-fi deal.
And it became must-see TV, maybe for other reasons that at 8 or 9 years old I wasn't ready to deal with. But
Okay.
yeah, she was my first she was on TV. I mean, that makes you a celebrity in some ways.
Oh, it makes you a celebrity
She
in many
wasn't.
ways. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't. This was in the '80s, so I mean, it wasn't like she had a Instagram account and I could learn every basic. Basically, I knew nothing about her other than like what I knew about the character on the TV show. She was really good at kicking lizard ass aliens' ass.
Well, I mean, that's also important. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, that would have been
a boyhood crush, so to speak.
yes. Faye Grant.
Faye Grant.
Look her up.
Did she do anything else? Like I don't. That's like it's a head scratcher. Like I don't remember. Obviously, like if I think of V, like
from that point on, she became one of those like, she's been a working actress for a while after that, but it was like she's in one episode of, Law and Order, or she was on, she she was in a movie and played the neighbor's wife, and if you blinked, you would, you wouldn't. Nothing that where it was like, oh yeah, you may also know her from like, she was a working actress or whatever. If you look up her IMDb page, like you'll see that she was in like a bunch of stuff after that, but nothing that really like, nothing that will ever top V, sadly.
fair enough. Well, listen. If you hit a home run that quickly into your career, you can kind of you can coast from there. So that's a very good one to start off with. If we're talking like boyhood crushes, I do have to like so I think the first boyhood crush that I had was Miss Elizabeth, the valet / real life wife of Macho Man Randy Savage in the World Wrestling Federation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. Always look classy. Was so in the world of wrestling, if you're a woman, and they even like at this point, like they occasionally had women's matches when I first started watching, but she was the woman that was involved with the men as an outside the ring manager or valet, and it was like, oh, wait a second, like a girl's part of this now. Like everybody, like now you pay attention. And she was very demure, very damsel in distress. The Macho Man was not a kind person to Miss Elizabeth, and she always had like, so she looked like she was very charming. When she talked, she kind of had a little bit of a Southern accent too. So it was like, oh, here's this like, kind of modern Southern belle woman with this absolute crazy person who's, kind of grabbing her arm and leading her around places. But you're also kind of like, for me, it's like Randy's he's a bad person to her. I could do so much better for her. And it was like, immediately it was like, you kind of get swept up in it. It didn't hurt that she was very pretty. Because again, like if you're looking at their show and you're like, well, what's our other options? It's Miss Elizabeth or it's the Fabulous Moolah, who was in her like 50s by then. And it's like, well, I'm not paying attention to what the Fabulous Moolah's wearing, out to the ring. I want to see Miss Elizabeth in her dress and her, high heels and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, well, this is all right. I'm fully invested in the Liz and Randy part of the show. So that would be where my little boy brain went to, or young man brain, whatever you want to call it. It was like, oh, I have a crush on her. Like and that lasted for a while because she was part of the show for 6 or so years. So you saw her kind of evolve a little bit. So that's where I would start off.
I don't remember her speaking a whole lot. I do remember her being Macho Man's manager or whatever it was, her side, his woman.
Yep.
I do remember a lot of, like, anytime somebody like hit Randy with a chair or did something and knocked him out, that like the go-to move was, I'm gonna walk slowly towards Elizabeth, like I'm gonna
Hmm.
like you're next,
Yeah.
and then the camera would be on her, and she would have the scared face,
Yes.
and like
Yes.
always looking like, is somebody gonna come out of the locker room and save me,
Hmm. Yep.
or and of course Macho Man would somehow wake up and like as this person is walking towards her slower than Frankenstein, and of
Hmm.
course whatever grab the chair or whatever it was that he got hit with, and then of course get the person from behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right before Elizabeth was in really any danger. Um, those are basically my memories of.
That's the
I can't
that's the
think.
theatrics.
I don't like. I I've seen the Macho Man do interviews.
Mhm.
The post match or pre match. I
Yeah.
don't really remember them ever like. I don't remember Gene ever just throwing the mic to Elizabeth and be like, "What are your thoughts?"
On occasion,
Maybe maybe Macho Man was kind of a microphone hog, or
yeah, yeah, that's
that
for
was
sure.
his job, was to do the spot. But
Yeah, yeah. But she
plus
was,
he talked really slow, so a 30-second spot seemed to take forever.
yeah, of course, yeah. He had a lot to say, but no, when she did speak, it was sort of like this, kind of quiet, like, oh, I don't know, whatever Randy thinks is right, and Randy would be like, yeah, right, that's right, Liz, we're gonna go back and get over there, and but she had more of a chance to talk, like when Randy was feuding with like Hulk Hogan, and she was in the middle of all that, and they would give her, who do you think you should go with, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was less about like what she said, because she also wasn't a good actress. It was just about like you're looking at her, and she had like this charm and charisma about her, where you're like, she's different than anything else, and she's adorable, and yeah, I kind of am very interested in what she's doing anytime that she's on TV. So that's that is one of the formative formative crushes that I've got on my list, for sure.
Surprising, and very surprising that it comes from the world of wrestling.
Not surprising. What is also not surprising, I'll go with another one that I had from my young and formative years, because I do have a bunch. So, The Price is Right, back in the 80s and 90s.
You had a thing for Bob Barker?
No, I
thought
didn't
you
have a
said
thing
you
for
had
Bob
no-
Barker.
I thought you said there was no men on your
No.
list.
But they had the spokesmodels that would introduce the prizes in the showcases and the games and everything. There was so there were three main girls that did the show all the time, and the shorter of the blondes was Diane Parkinson. Now, Diane Parkinson was a goddamn bombshell, like everything you could imagine. Like and again, like I'm a teenage boy, and I'm sick. I'm staying home from school, and I just want to watch The Price is Right, just to get a glimpse. It's like I have an hour to to oogle at her in evening gowns and bathing suits and bikinis, and it's like, all right, this is sensory overload at this point. She was also, and this is a fun fact. The first Playboy that I got my hands on, she was the celebrity centerfold. So, not the first set of celebrity boobs that I ever saw, but like the first in the magazine of Playboy that I got a chance to take a look at that was a celebrity, not just like a regular centerfold or anything like that. So I did buy that from a friend of mine. I think I exchanged maybe about $1.50 for a copy of that Playboy, or like $2 for that copy of the Playboy at the time. So yeah, that was.
So I guess $1.50 was the price. The price was right.
Yeah, you could say.
Zing.
You could say that. Yeah, but no, Diane was a little bombshell that in my young and more formative years was an inspiration. Let's just leave it at that.
Another one that I
Leave
can
it at
think
that.
of that was formative, I guess, for younger younger captain was Daisy Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, okay.
Catherine Bach.
Catherine
was her
Bach.
name.
Yes, you're very right.
Interesting thing was we had for like maybe a summer, maybe 2 summers, we had one of those like good humor trucks that used to come through the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there was a lady that drove the good humor truck that had like kind of like that look, like
Oh boy.
she was somewhat tan. She wore short shorts in the summer, and she had really long hair.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
All right.
And I just kind of like, for the longest time, I think I seriously thought that Daisy Duke was our ice cream lady. And it was just like, I don't know if it was like, did I have a crush on her, or was it just for the fact that like I was hoping maybe one of the days that I went out to get ice cream that like Bo or Duke Luke would actually be driving the truck with her, or maybe like Uncle Jesse, or like there would be somebody else from the cast of Dukes of Hazzard, because that was one of my shows as a kid. So I don't know if it was really I mean, I learned to appreciate her a lot more when I got older.
Well,
but at
of course,
the time, maybe
yeah.
it was just the fact that she was on like one of my favorite shows as a kid, and I swear to God, she was my good humor
That should be.
for 2 summers in the
Did the
maybe that's what she did after, maybe when the show was in reruns or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. She had to kill her time in her hiatus. Did the ice cream truck horn play that? You know that the Land Old Dixie.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah. Oof. As the ice cream truck was like coming, General Lee like go over the top, like just
No, but it was really weird. Like every time I went out there, like Wailing Jennings was just kind of narrating it. And I'll bet you young Michael orders a blow pop.
what's Michael Corby's going to get himself a fat frog.
Yeah. No, what was my favorite was the wild. I think it was Wild Bill. It was it looked like,
Oh yeah,
but at the center was the piece of the nose.
he had
was
the
piece
gumball.
of gum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was my that was one of my favorites.
I like how you focus more on the ice cream now than the leggy lady that was possibly
Well,
could have been
when
the stunt double for Catherine Bach.
Well, at the time, believe me, it was the fact that she was a member of the Duke family. Now later on, I'm like, good humor ice cream was really good.
Good. No slouch coming out of that truck. All right. Well, that's I think for men of a certain age, Catherine Bach. The bad thing was like she really never did anything post Dukes of Hazzard. She was basically like, she probably did a couple B movies. Wasn't really like, she didn't pivot into like this like grandiose career where she did movies or she did like, another really long series after that. It was basically like you got her for the, 5 or 6 years that the Dukes of Hazzard were on, and then it was like, all right, you've had your time, retirement home. Not to say she's old.
Yeah, nowadays, like she would have been on like, no, she would have definitely pivoted to like, I don't know, like a Reba McEntire show or some sort of country, like,
right, exactly. She would have been like the
CMT
third
had,
person in
original
like a
TV
sitcom.
series.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It's sort of like, she never got that chance to be the third person on a popular NBC sitcom after that. So, listen, the Segway King is here. We're still in the formative years. Speaking of sitcoms and speaking of leggy women on sitcoms, on my list is Marky Post from Night Court. She's
God rest her soul.
She's an all-timer. Yes, God rest her soul. She's an all-timer for me. Total smoke show. But she was like kind of dorky. Christine Armstrong character was kind of dorky. So it was like, all right, there's a likability. She's relatable. She's not just like this like really, snobby lawyer and again, like certain storylines in Night Court would say that she was a little snobby, but
she was supposed to be more naive to like, especially towards Dan or John Larroquette, like
Yeah.
his over sexual innuendos and like she was, she was supposed to kind of like she always kind of fell for like whatever trap that he was gonna, and then she would realize like, oh no, you're not really being sincere. That was like her
Yeah.
gig.
Yeah.
It was like she was kind of naive and she was, she was still like, thinking she was going to change the world, being a night court lawyer, or
Yeah.
she was going to have a positive impact on the world, representing people that, were there for getting fined for public urination.
But she was the
In New York
prosecutor.
City.
Like this is that's
Yeah.
where it's sort of like turned on its head. When you look at it like 30 years removed, it's like, oh, she was the prosecutor. Like she wasn't like the public defender. Fielding was the public
I thought she was
defender.
I thought Fielding was the prosecutor.
No, the other way around.
Because now on the show he's the public defender. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I don't know.
anyway, we're not going to just talk. Listen,
I just watched the show for Max Sweaters. What do I mean, that was my. I was like, that's a great one.
well, what you should have been looking at is Marky Post's legs and her. She had a cuteness about her, but mostly it was her legs that I was like, wow, this is like, I'm getting a nice view of this. And plus, like, this is a likable character. I'm like, all right, what's Marky Post going to be up to after Night Court? And she herself did like a few like short-lived sitcoms. She was in Something About Mary.
Oh, that's right. She played
Mary's mother. So she had a few like bit roles. Then she would pop up on like some celebrity like, talk show, like as a guest, as like a panelist about something. So like she didn't disappear completely, but she had probably her 8-year run in the late 80s, early 90s, but she left a lasting memory in my brain for sure.
I think she always had like that. She would pop up in like a CSI or one of these like homicide as like, oh, this teenager got killed. Like she was the mother of every, Law and Order or whatever. She not like recurring character, always like a one-time kind of. You would watch it and be like, oh, that's Marky Post.
Yeah, Marky Post is here.
Wow,
Yeah,
haven't seen her in a while.
yeah, right, exactly. But no, when I'm saying like if she would be on a panel on a talk show, it would be like some of those daytime shows that would be like, hey, we're bringing back the cast of Night Court and we're going to talk about that show. We're like, we're talking about strong women in TV and and this was one of them and she played a sassy lawyer and da 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 da. So like yeah, she didn't fade away completely. She had her chance to like kind of put herself back in the spotlight after Night Court, which again I go on record and say one of the most underrated sitcoms of its time. It's a true gem, totally watchable these days too.
The reboot is it's a little rough.
It is, yeah.
It's just kind of like they're not bringing anything new. They're just kind of, I don't know, they're trying to remake the old series, but it's not. I've given it a few watchings, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's hard to live up to it original.
True is.
I guess the one thing that I never the one thing that always I'm gonna say bothered me about Marky Post was she was kind of a victim of some bad '80s hair.
See, I like that about her. I like that she was a little bit unconventional, like a little short, little short blonde, kind of spiky hair a little bit, or like it never got like big where she was like the girls on fucking Dynasty or anything like that. But I think it suited her, and it was sort of like, all right, well, a lawyer would have this haircut, right? It's not all glamorous all the time, Has to be a little more practical. Think about it. But yeah, no, that's what was sort of like, all right, I'm kind of attracted to her because it's not, she doesn't look like everybody else that's on TV at the time. Little unconventional.
Attractive, but with the hair, I wouldn't call Smoke Show. I wouldn't put her
Okay.
back at it.
All right. Well, peer down to those legs, and I'll take your answer off air. What else you got? Who's your next
Interesting enough.
crush?
Interesting enough, somebody that initially, because of the hair, I was kind of like, eh. But then, like, it changed a little bit. And not only was it, I would say, a boyhood, like, teenage crush or admiration, but she went on to have and still have a very good comedic career as a comedic actress. Christina Applegate.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
if you ever watch the very first year or first 2 years, like she had the really bad like 80s
Mm-hmm.
bleach blonde, I'm a background actress in an 80s video kind of hair.
Yes.
And
Very.
they really,
Yeah. It's a good call on that.
and they really made her like the dumb blonde. Like,
Right.
and then
Right.
as the show kind of like moved on and evolved, like yeah, she was kind of like still a ditzy blonde, but she kind of turned more into like kind of a wise ass, like always making fun of Bud because Bud couldn't get girls and all this
Right,
stuff
yeah,
or
of
whatever.
course.
Like, and you know, for the run that Married with Children had, I was always a fan of that show. I always laughed at it. She was like, it was interesting where like, you know, typically somebody of her looks and, you know, they would like, I'll take an opportunity to shit on Chuck Lorre here. Chuck Lorre would have had her be the dumb blonde for the whole 8-9 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I thought it was always kind of cool that like, yeah, she still was a little ditzy. There were episodes where they, you know, but her character evolved to the fact that the jokes that she was saying made me laugh.
Right.
And
right.
there's nothing more attractive than a girl of a comic that can make you laugh.
Of course. Of course.
She rolled that into later on she did some movies while she was on Married with Children, but definitely later on she was in Grand Theft Parsons. She went
True.
on to
Right.
she kind of got into that. She was a Anchorman.
Yeah. Anchorman and
where-
Anchorman 2.
And those type of movie, Hall Pass. She did this movie called The Sweetest Thing, where like she could kind of hold her own. She could be in a room with a lot of funny people, and she can make just as good. In a lot of those movies, there's a script, but there's a lot of improv or like, and she always held her own. And to me, not only was she attractive, but the fact that she was a very good comedic actress was something that made her even more attractive.
It checks more boxes. Yeah, no, I think she's kind of like, she's got a good sarcasm. She's got a good like she responds back well. If it's a scene where she needs to insult somebody quickly, she's not lost in it, or she doesn't go for like the corny joke. She kind of hits you with a barb back. I agree though, like when Married with Children was, like starting to get long in the tooth, I think she was like, because they were still writing like, Bud a certain way, and they kept Al and Peg like the same characters from like the first season. Like they never really like got any different. She was the only one out of the core group that they, when they put her in like her own storylines and they wrote some stuff, it was a little bit more like thought-provoking and mature, and she was, she was still, again, I think you're right, like there was still that cutesy dumb blonde element to it, but she would use it to sort of like get one up on somebody, and and it showed a little bit more range than a lot of the other cast by the time that it was getting into its seventh or eighth season, like when it's sort of like, all right, we'll wrap this up, like you're not really you're not mining any new territory. So yeah, and again, very she kind of grew up on TV as well, so she went from like that, like almost looked like the mall kid, as you said, the background in a music video, to a a much more attractive and very of the time looking mature-ish woman as she was, kind of getting through to the end of that series. And then again, like as a adult actress, not adult film actress, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, she always kept a good care of herself and always, kind of use that looks to kind of help you keep focus on her. So, yeah, that's a great one to consider. And again, longevity is another thing that's important. Good one. Good one.
Thank you.
So just to kind of pivot away from TV for a little while, I do have like this. This is a heavy hitter. I have Reese Witherspoon on my list. Star of film and film excellence. Jesus, she's a pretty girl, and she looks just as like pretty now as she did when she was like in Cruel Intentions and the stuff she did in like the early 2000s. Like she doesn't look like she ages at all. She's got a charm and a charisma that few, and again, she's being given like shit material in certain movies, but she makes it work. Like she works hard to like be funny, but also be serious. Like she's a stunner to me. And I find her to be like very, I guess like her talent is what sort of like brings it to the forefront. She's very attractive, no doubt about it. I almost like her better when she isn't, like when she played June Carter in Walk the Line. I was like, I'm in love with this woman. Like she is so like she's a badass in the movie, and she cares for Johnny Cash, and she basically like I don't want to say she steals the show, but like I think she's the best performance in that movie, and like anything else she's in, I'll give it a chance. Most of the material might not be that great, but I'll give it a chance because I think I'm very like attracted to her presence on screen, and it's not hard to look at her as well.
She's definitely, someone who started off with like Cruel Intentions and that other movie where she was, I forget what the name of it.
Fear, wasn't it Fear?
Fear was another, but
Mr. Walker.
There was a movie where she played like, kind of like a badass, like she was like a gangster, like it was like an early 90s, where she was like somebody's girlfriend, but she was actually like kind of like psycho in it, which she got a lot of rave reviews for, and the movie is just escaping my memory at the moment. But she kind of fell into that. She did Sweet Home Alabama,
right?
Legally Blonde, and you could kind of tell like, okay, I'm building up my credit. I'm building up my like, because her like the last so many projects that she's done, it's been more of like, okay, like I'm a woman now. Like I can't be doing Legally Blonde 3.
Oh, I think she is though.
Oh, is she? No.
Yeah, I hate to say that. I think they're rebooting it, and she's part of it. Yeah.
Who knows? But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but I actually did watch the morning show, and she's really good on that.
Is she? Yeah.
And,
like I've seen bits and pieces.
And it's that thing of like, she's supposed to be a reporter that they found like in Virginia or North Carolina. Like, they did this a spot where she kind of totally went off script, and of course it grabbed a lot of attention or whatever. And the next thing you know, they're like bringing her to New York to be on like it's basically a ripoff of like the Today Show, because eventually like
okay, right, yeah.
Steve Carell's character gets into trouble, kind of like Matt Lauer did. Like, there's Jennifer Aniston's kind of like she's been on the show a while, and now she feels threatened by Reese Witherspoon because she's like the younger, like she always thinks they're trying to get rid of her because she's getting older and that type of stuff. But yeah, it's definitely an entertaining series that kind of mirrors like you could kind of be like, all right, I know where they plucked that news story or where they're getting this storyline from and blah blah blah. But she's very like, there's moments where she like, kind of turns on that Southern charm type thing
Yeah.
that she has. But there's also some very, uh, dramatic and very well acted. So yeah, it's
She plays it both
yeah,
ways. Yeah.
when they're attractive and talented, it always makes it easier.
It's true. And I think that early movie that you were talking about might have been SFW, where
Maybe.
it was like a quasi indie flick, like almost like a teen, almost like teen angst, I guess.
Yeah.
And they were, it was like a Mickey and Mallory almost, like where they're on the run and shit like that.
Yeah.
But also, like I totally forgot, like a blank space in my brain. She was an American Psycho. She's Patrick Bateman's fiance, Evelyn,
Yes.
in that one, and
Who's,
also
who's
Election.
interrupting him while he's trying to listen to the Huey Lewis and the news.
Yeah, seriously,
record.
come on. So, but
I
no,
don't know.
she's
Maybe that points off that like, hey, when I'm sitting
Yeah.
here with my headphones on and I'm rocking out to the news,
blame the
like,
character, not the actress.
don't interrupt me.
She's adorable. She's adorable. So she's definitely she will always be on my list. If somebody's like, give me your crushes, I'm like, she's a top 5, in my opinion.
Here's a thing that kind of shows her. Will make you feel old. But there was a picture I think going around last week where her and her daughter,
Yeah,
who's now like 20 or 21,
who looks just like
and
her.
they're basically like, all right, that doesn't look like a mom, and they're like,
No.
that looks like they're two sisters.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sad to say, or not sad to say, but it's like crazy to think Reese Witherspoon's like 51 years old.
She's my age. Yeah, that's not crazy to think.
No,
I don't look old.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem like she's been like, I guess if you sit back and think of all the things that she's been in, be like, oh wow, yeah, she's been in
prolific.
the industry for a very long time, but it doesn't seem like it. It just seems.
No. She could have just popped in yesterday, and she would still look the exact same that she was when she was, 25 years ago. So, kudos to her. Get it, Reese. Anyway, by the way, she's married to Felipe? Ryan Felipe?
She was. I
Oh,
don't know. Is she
hey.
still is? I don't know.
Oh, hey, listen. If you like podcasts, so we swore we weren't going to do that, but I had to. I had to, shoot my shot.
Do you like Michelob Ultra and sports bar?
How's your bracket doing? Anyway, go ahead. Well, who do you got next on your vaunted list?
So she's not a golden girl, but definitely for somebody that when I found her,
It's McClanahan?
definitely somebody would probably want to put me in a psychiatrist's office and start talking. The actress Celia Ward, who
I know the name.
The first thing I can remember her in was a movie called Nothing in Common with Tom Hanks. Jackie Gleason, Tom Hanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep.
She's better known for she was on the show Sisters.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Here's an interesting thing. One of those movies that is constantly on cable. The Fugitive, Harrison Ford.
Oh,
The
yes.
Fugitive.
Yes.
She plays she plays Dr. Kimball's wife who gets murdered.
Dr. Richard
And
Kimball.
here's a question. How many times have you seen The Fugitive? Probably 100?
100, but not in the last, I'll be honest, not in the last 20 years.
But I'm just saying, it's constant.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Can you remember what her character's name was?
Not in the least.
It's Helen Kimball.
Okay.
But she's always referred to as Dr. Kimball's wife.
Dr. Richard Kimball's wife, Mrs. Kimball.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's definitely a veteran of movies and TV series. She usually, unfortunately, later, now she's like the mother or whatever and everything. But she was I mean, even at her advanced age.
Advanced age. All right, Jesus. She's not like she was an octogenarian
I'm telling you, if I showed you a picture and then I said she's this year old, you would be like, holy shit.
She's 68. I just looked it up. 68
there you
years
go.
Old. Yeah, no,
she's 20 years my senior.
She had hell of a run. Hell of a run.
But no, she was just wow, just a. I remember just watching that movie, going like, Tom Hanks, don't quit the job. You're not going to work with her. And I'm like, she's like a benefit to staying at the job. Like fuck Jackie Gleason. He's going to die anyway.
Yeah,
like,
he's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he's like constantly at the jazz bar till 3:00, and who the hell wants to listen to jazz?
Yeah, serious. Jazz is for sad people. Seal Award.
Go back to the office. Hang out with Seal Award. I was totally rooting Harrison Ford on, like, yeah, avenge your wife. Like, how dare you blow to a head to Mrs. Kimball like that?
Yeah. Come on. She's tall, right? She's kind of a tallish lady, isn't she?
She deserved better than being killed by a one-armed man. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing.
No, I mean, listen, we all have our baggage when it comes to the passions of a 3-arm marriage. Let's just put it that way.
Well, she wasn't married to the killer. She was just killed by a one-armed man.
Okay. Well,
Harrison Ford had 2 working hands. He was a doctor.
This is true. That's true. He was a doctor.
It's a house of doctors.
It's a house of learned men. Anyway, no, Seal Award. Now that I'm looking at some of her pictures, yeah, I can certainly see. She kind of has that. She has like model like looks. I'll put it that way. Very attractive woman. And
she's a hell of an actress.
I
really thought she was dying.
Once again, talent on display. Gets her points in the column. So that's a good one. Yeah. Seal Award. 68 years old this year.
Yeah.
Let's let that ruminate for a little while.
Well, it wasn't like I said B. Arthur.
No, you didn't. No. Listen. And we're not going to play the game of like which out of the Golden Girls.
Oh, you're totally for Blanche. Everybody wants to bang Blanche.
Yeah, she's a whore. She's a feisty one. What else is on my list? Because I just want to, throw a few more out here before we get to the very end of our lists. I like Isla Fisher.
Is that from Wedding Crashers?
From Wedding Crashers. She was married to Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
They are separated or divorced by the time that this comes out. They're no longer together.
So she's read your letters.
So she's read my letters, right? She's on her. I believe she's Welsh because she's got a little bit of an accent in her regular speaking voice, which again points to that for being sort of like she's like petite, cute, and she's kind of has a like a fun way of speaking, but also like great personality, like fun actress. That red hair, sometimes it's blonde, but like most of the time she's like a little redhead in those movies. And she very much, I think everything that I've seen her in is a comedy. So it's not like I can say like, oh, she has this range as like this like really great actress. I'm sure she's been in stuff that she's been able to show off a little bit of drama or a little bit of like her, horror movie face. Maybe, I don't know, but any of the comedies I've seen her in, I'm on board. I'm hooked, and I would put her in my list for sure because she sort of has that I think they call it it's manic. She's like a manic pixie dream girl. This is the classification that she would be in if she was being cast. So she brings a bit of like a like free spirit about her, and like I would just imagine if I was around her, it would be like she's calling the shots. I'm doing whatever she wants to do because look at her. She's so fun and she's so charming and bubbly. She seems like she could command a room, and look at this adorable redhead that's skipping around that may or may not have some sort of European accent.
She was in a movie that surprisingly It's called Now You See Me,
Yes. Yes.
which I remember
She was in
seeing
one
the
of those.
I know I saw the first one. I
Okay.
have not seen this, but I remember when that came out and I saw like the trailer or the previews for it. I was like, this looks really dumb. And then I caught it one day like on cable or I watched it,
Hmm.
and one, it's got a really good cast in it, which helps.
Yes, it certainly does.
But it's like, they're a group of illusionists or whatever, and they pull off this. They're pulling off these heists and all this stuff while they're doing these, uh, you know, big public displays or
Hmm.
whatever, illusion things or whatever. And surprisingly, it's a good movie. And
Yeah. Yeah.
she's one.
I like
She's
it.
one of the four that I kind of do remember. But there's a lot of movies that, kind of looking at it right now that like, Shopaholic. I can't say, or
Yeah.
apparently she was in Scooby Doo.
Listen, you can't say that like you've seen every single one of her
No.
films, but what I remember her in, I really liked her in. She is Scottish born, and apparently
Oh,
grew up in
ooh,
Australia. So that's
Ooh,
now, yeah. I got the accent
that's
mixed a
bonus
little.
points. That's bonus points right there.
Scottish. And so it's not Welsh; it's Scottish that she got that charming little accent, that lilt, so to speak, in her voice from those. But yeah, I forgot about Now You See Me. But yeah, and I mean she's fun in almost everything that she does, and I want to see her in more things.
You can put her in the Scottish Hall of Fame with Rod Stewart and
Yeah,
Sheena Easton
of
and the
course.
Bay City Rollers.
She's in the Scottish Hall of Fame. She's in the Redhead Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah. There's something about her that she definitely makes she makes her movies a lot more interesting when she's in them. And again, I think it's that she's got an energy about her, so she makes my list. She's adorable too,
And she was married to Borat.
and she
Very nice.
is very. He's an ugly man, so that always helps. Hilarious man, but
Yeah.
not a looker. He wouldn't be on my man crush list. Let's put it that way. So
All women want is a man with really good sense of humor.
yeah, of course. That's what I keep saying to myself. In the same vein, I'm just gonna kind of piggyback on that. Anna Kendrick is awesome.
Yes.
Anna Kendrick, I love Anna Kendrick.
Excuse me?
I like if all right. Some of those movies kind of grate on me after a while, but
Don't-
she's the
well,
best. She's
well-
the best part about all those Pitch Perfect movies.
Don't even. Pitch Perfect movies are amazing.
They're your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, oh yeah. Although I will say, Pitch Perfect 2, the German team, they won. I don't care what. That German team was way better.
I don't want
They
to.
win.
I don't want to get too in the weeds on this one because I really don't.
But yeah, Anna Kendrick is.
Yeah.
She's cute. She's talented.
She's hilarious on talk shows.
Yes.
She's a dynamo because she can. If she's sitting across, I've watched clips of her like on Letterman, and Letterman's got like, when Dave's got that face on where he's like, "I'm going to try to embarrass you," and Conan does the same thing every once in a while, where they're like they're setting you up for something, and it's going to be an embarrassing question or it's an embarrassing situation that they need to talk about, and she's like, "All right, go ahead, I can answer any question, like bring it on, like, let's lay our cards on the table, like, feast or famine." So she kind of has that like cool girl factor to her. She was in a movie, Drinking Buddies, which was an indie movie where I think she's with a boyfriend and they run the brewery together and they have a couple other friends. A total like quasi rom-com, like, group dynamic ensemble cast deal. And she's funny and she's like, again, best part about a movie like that, cause you can't take your eyes off of her. But yeah, she's, even if she's in something briefly, it's like, I'm waiting for the Anna Kendrick part about this. Yeah. Like she's awesome. And I think she'd be friends with me. I can imagine her.
She's currently, well, I believe within the last year, there's a Netflix movie. I believe she is either a producer or directed it.
Yes. Yes.
About a woman who was based on a true story. A woman who was on the dating game in the 70s. Who one of the bachelors was found out to be like a serial killer, and she actually picks the guy like out of the three. Spoiler alert, she doesn't go on the date with him, and then later on he's found. But
Woman of
he's
the
found-
Hour is the name of that one.
Yes, Women of the Hour. But I don't know if you have the. She's either I thought she was a producer or a director on that.
She did. It was her directorial. I believe
Yeah.
her directorial debut.
And it's actually it's a very good movie. Like, I had never heard of the story, until I saw her on different podcast or TV shows, and then listened to her on podcasts when she was out promoting it. Like, I had never heard that story that like somebody on the dating game, like one of the bachelors, like was a serial killer. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
just to show that like back in the 70s there was no like, hey, let's do a background check or blah blah blah. Like they threw a serial killer up on.
Can you just show up tomorrow? Like, yeah, we don't know. I don't care what your profile reads.
And
but
the whole thing was like her character was like an actress who was struggling to get roles, and her agent booked her on the dating game as like a way to get exposure. It's like,
well,
could you imagine?
That's how Vanna White got discovered. She was on Price is Right. That's what the 70s was all about. And that's what Hollywood's like still to this day. They're like, if you can get on television in any way, whether you're a contestant on a game show, where you're a background person, you're sitting in the audience at The View, you're sitting in the audience in like, some of these shows where they're going to show the audience. Yeah, those are, the people in that Masked Singer show, which I don't understand that at all, but the people that are in the crowd, they're all from like central casting. Is like, all right, well, we're going to send a bunch of people to seat fill because we want to see if they can get on air. And if somebody looks at it and goes, hey, that person's got a very pretty look, or that guy looks ruggedly handsome, or that kid is cute, boom, their agent's like, I can book you in a minute because you were on a network TV show.
Well, if I'm going to piggyback on that comment, speaking of TV game shows, or I guess.
Okay.
And you mentioned Celebrity Masked Singer. One of the people I have on my list is Jenny McCarthy.
Okay. All right.
Which I'm going to preempt, like, when I had a crush on her was before she went a little cuckoo.
Okay. All right.
She was the host or co-host, I should say, of Singled Out on MTV. Yep. And I was like, who is this blonde? She's really, like, she's hot. She's funny. She was funny on the show.
She had charms. Yeah.
And, like, she was pretty good at busting. Like, she was always, like, when they split it out, like, she was always with the single guys. And she was really good at, like, busting their chops and kind of, like, picking on them or whatever. And then I found out, oh, wait a minute. She got singled out because she was in Playboy.
She was in Playboy, yes. She was a Playmate in 94, I think.
And, yeah. She's
put together.
She's quite attractive.
Yeah. Even those young years, like before she got enhancements.
And one day I did actually, she did have a video.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was purchased, and it was very well lit.
Oh,
it was very well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she took that, whatever. She took Playboy, and she did Singled Out, and then she was, she got roles. I think she was in a couple of the Scream movies.
Screams, yeah, or any parody movie. I think she would, pop it. What's the other
And
one?
it was like it was
Scary
one of those
movie.
things where, yeah,
That's what it was. Yeah.
maybe it was Scary Movie she was in
Yeah.
or something like that. But it was like one of those things where again she was another one that like she would if she did like a cameo for one episode on a comedy, she was always pretty funny. When she did the talk show circuit, like she was interesting. She was like she wasn't just like one of the typical old style like centerfold like she had a personality. She was funny. She had a really good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And she was also very attractive. So
Triple threat.
Like yeah, there you go.
Ticking all the boxes.
Unfortunately, as she later on, I think she dated Jim Carrey, and then
She did. She did. Yeah.
something. There was like all this stuff where I think she had. I think one of her kids may have autism, and she went on that like anti-vax.
She was anti-vax, yeah.
And it kind of got. And then now she's the host on this Masked Singer show, which
Yes.
really does nothing for me.
And she's part of the Wahlberg Empire.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It was like
House of
when I
Wahlberg.
found out she was dating like, all right, you're dating Donnie Wahlberg. It was kind of like when everybody found out that secretly Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson got married. They were like, oh, really? Like I had a chance. Like if she married Jermaine Dupri,
Yeah.
the same thing. It's like really, she's married to Donnie. She picked out of all the Wahlbergs, she picked Donnie.
Donnie?
Like, all right, I guess.
Wow.
But,
Listen, she gets to break
yeah,
bread with
again,
Marky
like-
Mark.
Yeah, that must be a very interesting Thanksgiving.
She gets to pre-read scripts from Blue
Do you think?
Bloods.
Do you think they just like? Do they eat turkey or do they just? I guess it would be turkey burgers. Would they be? I guess that's Thanksgiving at the Wahlberg.
Oh, is he a vegetarian?
No, but they're Wahlburgers. Like, they have a burger.
Oh, they might. They might.
Man, I'll pre-screen my jokes with you before.
Yeah,
we get
that-
out of here. Man.
That was funnier
Oof.
than that was funnier than I gave it credit for. Sorry.
Thank you. Sorry.
But anyway,
but yeah, Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy, buxom blonde Jenny
That
McCarthy.
would be like when the man finally grew up to be a boy. Like, all right,
Hey, here it. That's my Diane Parkinson origin story.
there you go.
There's the boobs. Thank you, Playboy. Couple more before we bolt out of here. Current actress. Speaking of buxom, I don't know. This is everybody's like current celebrity crush, but god damn it, if Sydney Sweeney, anytime she does any sort of like talk show appearance or she's on SNL or she's presenting an award at something, she's great. I know she's young actress and she's hot in Hollywood and everything. And she's, she had a very popular movie in the summertime where she's in a romantic comedy and she's not shy about shedding her clothes. There's something she's got like, it's better than Pam Anderson vibes for me because she can actually like, she's got some talent behind it. But she's got an aura about her where it's like she's a sex symbol. Like for the modern day, and there's a lot of girls that are on Instagram that are super attractive, or like these like B celebrities that do like reality shows where you're like, oh boy, like look at her, like she's so put together, and like it's obvious that it's plastic surgery or it's filters or whatever it is. But like Sydney Sweeney is just drop dead gorgeous. She seems cool. She's got aura, and she's got very big breasts as well. Goes without saying. She'd be on my list.
Her appearance on SNL was there was a sketch that they did with there were waitresses at Hooters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like I guess it was towards the end of the night or during the shift, and they're all like, "Oh, I did like $120 tonight," and the other one was like, "Oh, I did like $150." And then Sydney Sweeney was like, "I did $16,000."
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good gag. They did a lot of boob gags on that episode. I know that for sure. Or like hot girl jokes. But no, she deserves it. She's very hot. And I don't want her ever to go away, because she's entertaining to me. So brief mention of her in there. Anybody else on your list that you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I've talked a lot about, I guess, TV and movie. Two women I'll mention just because they were right around the same time, and I had brief, I guess, crushes or whatever on them. One being Liz Phair.
Yeah, Liz Phair's
and
adorable.
The other one being Sheryl Crow.
Okay, all right.
Real brief, quick. I will tell my brief, quick Sheryl Crow story. So, I don't remember if you were with us for this or this was a non-Mike Madden trip to the city. We went to some weird Tibetan freedom show.
Oh, I was there.
Oh, you were
sure.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. She was one of the celebrities that was there to perform. Our friends were obsessed with the band Live. They still are.
Yawn.
So we went around. There was like a back entrance to the place where all the celebrities were coming in, and briefly got to meet Sheryl Crow. She kind of blew everybody off.
She was short.
And later on, of course, the girls got to see the guys from Live. I got to meet Natalie Merchant, who was actually a very nice person. Not very attractive, but she was very nice.
Okay.
So afterwards, the girls want to rush back to see them leave. A limo pulls up, and it's for Sheryl Crow. The limo driver left the driver's side door open, like not his door, but the back entrance on the driver's side, passenger entrance. And I walked up to it as Sheryl Crow got into the car. And I just leaned down to say, I was about to say, "Hi, Sheryl, how you doing?" And the driver realized what he did.
Yeah.
And quickly, I was told to get the F out of the car. I wasn't actually in the car. I just poked my head. And that is about as close to maybe breaking a barrier was just to say hi to her. I didn't ask for an autograph. I didn't ask for a picture. I just said hi to her. And
Yeah,
that
you didn't handcuff yourself to the outside of the door. You just kind of gave a friendly hi, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl, how are you? And then she put out like a really bad album, and she cut her hair short. And I was like, you know what? I think this is over. I think this little crush phase is over.
Yeah.
But that is about as close as I ever got to anybody on my list, and
Okay.
I physically did not. My head was briefly in the door. I was
Law enforcement's not coming after. Statute of limitations has worn
It
off.
wasn't like I hopped into the seat.
No, nobody said you. No, nobody said you were doing that.
I poked my head in to say, "Hey, Cheryl,
Hey,
how
Cheryl,
you doing?"
it's the captain. Remember
Yeah.
this name. Podcast coming in 25 years.
Remember this face. Remember. Listen to my voice. Remember me.
Liz Phair as well on your list, right?
Yeah, I mean, she was attractive, very attractive, and she had a lot of songs that were very innuendo.
Oh, no, I don't think it was even innuendo.
I mean,
I
and
think
some
she was
some
straight
of-
up telling
some
you
of
to
them
fuck her
are-
on a couple of those records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very well known for having I think one of the name of her songs was Hot White Cum. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that isn't really an innuendo. That's pretty
Fucking run.
straightforward, but,
Yeah, no, she's a badass.
Yeah.
Or she was a badass, I should
Yeah.
say. And then she got backlash for like kind of trying to sell records and making a little bit more poppy. But listen, like she's part of that. Like there's kind of a clump of like women in the 90s, like her, Kay Hanley from Letters to Cleo, the girls from Veruca Salt I'd put in there, like that are all sort of like these rock chicks that have there's similar traits to them. Juliana Hatfield, like that you could sort of like, I could fill a festival of like cute like rock girls and I'd be in heaven. And Liz Phair would probably headline that because she made great records for a while. And even like her pop records, I was like, all right, I can get behind this because because I still know she's talented and she, writes her own shit and plays guitar and when she needs to like bring the Yanks, she brings the Yanks pretty well. So, yeah, no, she's
would you
great.
book that festival by like popularity, or would you go strictly by? Oh, okay, you're the most attractive, so you're the headliner.
Well, no, it's not. It's not attractiveness.
Ah.
If and maybe I would book it by talent, and I'd have to like kind of renegotiate it, or popularity and renegotiate it, or I'd also maybe say like, all right, who's got the credibility and who's going to stand up in front of everybody? Well, maybe a tie between her and Kay Hanley from Glitter Cicleo. Not on my list, but Liz Phair almost made my list because I do like her. Number one on my list. I'm going right to the top because I covered a lot of ground here.
Yep.
Ginger Z, the chief meteorologist for ABC News, is my number one crush. She's the best. She's very smart at weather. Weather is this category on the news that like, you usually get like the goofball weatherman, or you get like you'll get like a bubbly young girl that does the weather. And it's historically been like filled up with people that are, they know enough to like read the map or, follow the script and talk about it. We're not talking about the team that's on the Weather Channel or anything like that, the Cantoris of the world. But I think Ginger Z certainly, she shows a lot of her knowledge. She seems to do a lot of research and a lot of extracurricular weather activities, all looking like a mega MILF. And I hate to even say it that way, but yeah, no, she's very, very hot. And I do wake up and watch a little bit of like Good Morning America every morning, knowing that she will pop in there, I'm sure, at some point for like 3 minutes and do a weather segment. And I'm like, all right, this wakes me up. I'm not worried about like, sleeping through anything. And then usually it's like, all right, I can't deal with the news in the morning, but at least I get a little bit of weather and insight into the weather from an intelligent, beautiful woman like Ginger Z. Number one with a bullet on my list.
I can understand fascination with weather women. I almost learned Spanish just to watch Telemundo.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like normally it's sort of like, all right, well, these Spanish weather ladies with these, tight skirts and these giant boobs are like, yeah, you're probably going to be like, I am watching Spanish weather all the time. But no, I think Ginger does a above average and an excellent job for ABC.
Ginger Z sounds like a pop singer or
Yeah.
like doesn't sound like I mean, she doesn't have a stupid name like Storm Fields or what was he? Amy Freeze.
Amy Freeze.
That can't be her real name.
I don't know. Listen, it's Ginger Z is cut off. I think she has a longer like last name. It's probably like Zillarian or something like that. But and of course, like she's got it. You have to like spice it up for TV. But in the long run, if you see her, you're like you may be right. You may be saying like, oh, she looks like she could be a pop star because she's got like she's.
I'm just saying
very, very
I'm
attractive.
Just saying the name.
Oh yeah.
I'm just waiting for the new Jay-Z Ginger Z joint to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it sounds like to me. Ginger Z does not sound like a. I don't know. Maybe that's a celebrity chef. No, it's a weather person in my eyes.
However you would like, if you were sight unseen and you were like, okay, I don't know what a Ginger Z could actually be. Oh, she's a weather woman. Is she a weather woman? She's the chief meteorologist for ABC News.
Oh, well, she's
one of the tops. And then you look at her and it's like, wow, this is unbelievable that she's this like well put together. And then you follow her on Instagram and it's like she does all of these like, like deep dives into like climate culture and all this other stuff. It's like she's well read. She does her research. And yeah, she's my number one.
Number one with a bullet.
Number one with a bullet.
I'm more of a Janice on Channel 4.
Janice Huff. Okay.
Janice Huff. Well, I'm strictly weather. I'm not. um, I would tend to believe her forecast like more than Ginger Z.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, spend some time with Good Morning America if you have a chance. If you care to. But that's my recommendation. There were a lot more that were, honorable mentions that, but a lot of them are like, yeah, we could talk forever about Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Everybody had a crush on Tiffany Amber Thiessen at one point.
I will say the 90210 years are better than the Saved by the Bell is.
She's fucking cute in that. I'm not gonna take that away from her.
Maybe because that show is so shitty that I never really.
It's
Sorry,
true. Yeah.
I'm not on the Saved by the Bell bandwagon. That show is horrendous.
Yeah. No, it's dog shit. But yeah, I mean, honorable mention for her. Paul Abdul might be an honorable mention too. She was a early crush from me.
I will say, and not trying to be ageist or whatever, but the early years of Law and Order SUV, Mariska Hargitay.
Oh, okay.
The short hair, she was very cute.
Okay, all right.
Very true. I mean, she's still an attractive older woman now, but
she's like an exotic beauty, I believe. That's how they.
The younger years when she had like that short haircut and kind of did it for me.
Yeah,
I'd admit.
Yeah. Good call. All right. Have we been listeners? Have we been creepy enough?
Yeah.
Are you letting us off the hook? No, I want this to be above board as as an informative episode, as much as it is very much our own opinion. Feel free, like I said, in the comments to roast us for our choices or to applaud us for being brave and letting our guard down long enough to share this information. There's a moth flying around me. I gotta get Raid. I don't want the moth to be on audio, so you know how moths are.
Maybe the moth has a couple of suggestions.
Yeah, okay. I'll get another microphone plugged in for the moth. But yeah, we covered a lot of ground. I think we shared enough today. Your episode, well, no, actually, this is a group episode, which will be coming up next Friday. Do you want to share what we're doing and how we're doing it?
Well, since technically today is when you're listening to this, it's Friday, but technically today is opening day of baseball. So we do have a surprise guest joining us to make this a three-way dance.
Oh, yes, as they would say in South Philadelphia.
And each of us are going to have our own unique list of baseball referenced. Mine is going to be. I'm going to do a light.
Why don't you hold on? So we know we're going to be doing unique baseball lineups.
Unique baseball.
Let's leave it at that.
You want to make it a surprise?
Let's make it a surprise for the listeners. They can spend the next week, of course, scrubbing their minds from all of the celebrity crushes that we just bombarded them with, but also thinking about like, hey, what would these guys do? And they're going to have a special guest. Our friend George Henn will be joining us with a unique lineup. So it'll be three of us, walking through baseball lineups from real players from the past. So we're not, it's not Bugs Bunny or.
Well, that would be the whole list because Bugs Bunny plays pitcher,
he
catcher,
did. Yes,
first base.
That's exactly what I was going for. Or any fictitious characters. This is a real baseball episode to celebrate the second week of the baseball season. We were going to try and cram it in this one, but we really had to get the crushes out of the way so that we weren't further embarrassed beyond that point. But yeah, the baseball episode will be our next episode.
Use this episode as like a toweling off. Like we need to just wash away this and then move on to baseball.
Yes, that's right. Get away from these crushes and get to your real passion, which is baseball.
Yes.
But that's all coming up for the next episode. Again, we really appreciate everybody that has followed us and started to comment and check us out on social media. We really appreciate all the attention we get there. We can't say enough about how it helps us put our episodes together and gives us room to grow and things to think of. So that'll do it for our Crushes episode. This is Mike Madden signing off on my side, and that is the captain, Michael Corby, signing off on his side. Think romantic thoughts, and hopefully we didn't ruin ourselves and cancel ourselves in this episode.
Yeah, hopefully we're allowed like 100 yards near schools after this episode.
That's true. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
There's a time when the sun turns black. I swear she'd be the only survivor. She does.